So, first of all, I'm going to start with, we've been very fortunate, I think, in the last 5, 6, or 7 years here at North to have a lot of athletes that have been fortunate enough to sign and move on to the next level and play collegiate football, whether it was the P4 level or any other level, right? But then you look at, kind of my 22 years of experience. Recruiting's changed tremendously. And as a head coach for the last 17, when I first started as a head coach, we were signing, 10, 11, 12 guys a year. Colleges were all signing 25 high school guys, and filling their classes up because back then the portal didn't exist, NIL didn't exist. And I think there's good and bad to both of those. But it's had a unintended consequence, not just at the collegiate level, but obviously at the high school level. And so what you've seen is two things. Number one, less and less opportunities are available, right? And so when you look at that, our guys that are elite, right, 4 stars, 5 stars, they're not going to be affected by any of this, right? They're still going to get recruited, they're still going to get their scholarships, and they're going to be good. But then you look at your marginal guys, right? Guys that may still be developmental, coming out of high school that you project as, hey, he's got a high ceiling, he's a guy that I can develop for a couple of years, and then he's good to go by the time he's a sophomore or a junior in college. And those are the guys that are those opportunities are no longer there, right? Because now with the portal, coaches obviously are looking at ready-made guys, right? You don't have to develop. You can get in the portal. You can find a guy that's been in a collegiate environment, been through a collegiate schedule. I can pick that guy up, and I'm not worried about the adjustment from high school to college. And so the ripple effect it has back to high school now is you've got guys that would probably 10 years ago or 15 years ago be a group of 5 or a power 4 football player that aren't getting that opportunity, right? And so then you're thinking, well, that should open up the window for FCS schools, right? Well, it really doesn't, because now you get so many power 4 and group of 5 guys in the portal that FCS schools are now able to fill their roster with portal guys as well. I think when you look at all those things, the opportunities have really shrunk for the high school athlete. And that's the unfortunate thing, because we have a lot of guys that, obviously want those opportunities to go on and play and get their school paid for. And then, so that's one part of the recruiting side. And then you take, kind of what's going on with the roster cap and, the things that are about to happen through the NCAA. Now you're losing opportunities for the high school athlete with preferred walk-ons and guys that may be able to go in what they used to call gray shirt, right? Or walk on and earn their scholarship. Now with that, that's going to go away too, because roster sizes are going to be capped. And so, it's an unfortunate and unintended consequence. Something's going to have to be done. I don't think we're that far away from everybody looking at this and looking at, I don't think talent pools are ever going to dry up, but the amount of high school kids and the amount of youth, even at the college level, being involved in the game is going to change in some sort. And so you're going to get one or two options, in my opinion, right? You're going to see some Division II football teams and, even some junior colleges that become farm clubs for, our Power 4 schools and our Group of 5 schools, or you're going to see just a completely different system. So that's the portal aspect and kind of how the scholarships get limited, things like that. And now you get into the portal combined with NIL, which to me creates just an unstable environment, right? Because now it's a completely transactional process. I may be with you for a year. As a coach, I'm sitting here trying to manage my roster, and if the money doesn't hit right, or this guy has an outstanding year, he may be gone, and I got to go find somebody to replace that guy. Right, so you get into this vicious, never-ending cycle, which is, again, you look at unintended consequences, right? You look at all the spring games that are going away, right? Why are spring games going away? Because coaches don't want to market their own players in the spring because they don't want to lose them to another school, right? Because of injury or whatever it may be. And so you've got all these things, I think, at the collegiate level that are a mess. That's just going to trickle down into high school, right? And what it's doing in high school right now is it's shrinking opportunities for players.